Welcome back to another edition of our Bloomfield Pride Points. Today we have Mr. Waggoner, Bayden, Hadley, and Mr. Raper with me to talk about two different clubs that we offer. So we're going to jump right in and talk about the Marvel Club, which I am a fan of a lot of those movies. So we'll jump in and say, can you just tell us a little bit about the Marvel Club?
Yep, Marvel Club is a high school group. We meet once a week. And it really all started with this guy right here about 5 years ago. Want to tell us about that experience, Bayden?
Well, me and my friends, we just wanted to start a club. We all love Marvel, and we thought there would be a lot of people who would love Marvel. So we were walking down the hall, and I saw him, and I thought, hey, do you know of a teacher who would love to make a Marvel club? And he showed me his socks that had Marvel on them. He was wearing his Marvel socks that day.
Nice.
And he said that he would like to be a sponsor. And we were happy for it. We just wanted to make a club where we could watch Marvel shows, movies, and talk about Marvel with our friends.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Waggoner, kind of a personal question. As I look around your room, I see a lot of Marvel stuff. Did you start putting it up after you guys started the club, or did you already have some of it up ahead of time?
I already had some of this ahead of time.
Okay.
A lot of this came from home, so home's decorated like this too.
Nice.
But yeah, I've always been a fan of it.
All right, cool. And so Hadley, Mr. Raper, tell us about the Christian Fellowship Club.
Well, Hadley's a new joiner this year, so tell us what you've enjoyed so far.
I like how we get to watch movies. That's fun. And he always provides us snacks, and the movies help us like teach a lesson with like what we're learning or sometimes. And we meet twice a month on Mondays, and then on one of the Mondays we have guest speakers that helps like us show to meet other people, and they tell us about how their walk with God was.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually inherited this club from Mrs. Van Deventer, Christy Van Deventer, years ago when I started in the 6th grade. And, when she was moving out of 6th grade, she said, why don't you just take that over since you're taking my spot? I said, sure, it sounds great. And so we've added 2 along the way. And then when 6th grade went to middle school and I went back to 5th grade, then it became a 5th grade club. But I try to reach a lot of the friends that I've had through the years. Some of them are missionaries, some of them are business people here in town, and they come in and share with our young people. We've got Terry Neighbors is going to come in on Monday, and she's going to share with a little bit about Aaron's purpose and kind of give our kids a chance just to talk about the problems that they might be facing and know that they're not alone, and that they got folks that can help them, both adult and peers. So that's our kind of the focus of our club.
Awesome. So 2 completely different clubs, but both that would be a joy to be a part of. And so, Mr. Waggoner, a question for you. Bayden mentioned that you guys were just walking down the hallway. He asked you, and it was like, yeah, I'd like to be a part of that. So actually starting a club and being a sponsor, what are the requirements, or what did you go through to kick it off 5 years ago?
Well, it's real easy. Just have to be, at least for me, be a teacher or someone associated with the school, and then ask administration. They approve of it, and we go from there.
Awesome. Well, that doesn't sound very tough, but another way to work with students and get to know students. But speaking of that, Mr. Raper, my last question for the day is, what would you say, just clubs in general, what would be the overarching goals of why we have clubs in schools?
Well, I think it's all about relationships. That's really the key thing. We want our kiddos to know that this is a home. Yes, they have a home with their parents, but sometimes it's nice to know that there's other peers that are interested in the same things that they are, and there's adults that are going to be able to encourage them. I've had countless students that's come back and said, I really appreciated when we did whatever, or we got to see whoever, and it just builds that rapport, and you have again that relationship that there's just no other way to get outside, in a classroom. You need it outside of class.
Well, and that's what I really appreciate about our clubs as well, is just having quality people continuing to invest in our students in ways that our students, we're in an avenue that our students are excited about as well. So thank you both for investing in the students, and Bayden and Hadley, thanks for being guest speakers today. So that's another edition of the Bloomfield Pride Points.